So there was a national cabinet meeting on 8th of January 2021, and there are few changes in regards to international travel from other countries to Australia. So in this video, we are going to discuss that. But before we discuss about this topic, it is important to understand that there are some channels and some websites spreading some fake news regarding international students and their arrival into Australia. I've personally seen at least 2 to 3 different channels who are promising that international students can start arriving in Australia from March onwards. Unfortunately, there is no such information available from any government or reliable sources. So we highly recommend you to do your research properly before believing any of the channels out there or any of the media outlets. We highly advise you to check websites like ABC News or SBS News in order to get the accurate information regarding what's happening in Australia. We do recommend watching our videos as we try to do our best to make sure we do proper research with all the articles referenced in the video. But we also want you to make sure that you do your research on other channels and other media outlets as well, so you get the clear picture and you get the accurate and right information. And for those people who are spreading some fake news or misleading information, please stop doing that. It is certainly not helping the international student community. So now let's get back to the topic of the video. So there were a few things that came out on a national cabinet meeting that happened on 8th of January. And this meeting was called in an emergency because there is a concerns regarding a UK strain getting into Australia. Now there's already one case in Brisbane, and because of this, Brisbane has gone into a lockdown for the 3 days. So from Friday 8th of January 6 p.m. till January 11 until 6 p.m. Brisbane will be into lockdown, and it is declared as a hotspot in Australia. This lockdown has happened because there is one case of UK strain COVID-19 into the community in Brisbane, and government is trying to go hard and fast to control the spread of this virus, and that is why this lockdown has been announced. So this strain from UK is spreading 70% faster than other variants of COVID-19, and obviously many governments and countries have closed their borders to United Kingdom, but Australian government has announced that they will keep their borders open to the people traveling from UK. But there are some changes on international travel now. The first major change is the international passenger caps has been reduced. So until 8th of January, around 6,000 people were coming into Australia. And all these travelers who are coming into Australia are Australian citizens, permanent residents, and the people who got an exemption to travel to Australia. But now because of this worry regarding the UK COVID-19 strain, the capacity for international arrivals has been reduced. And 3 states, which are New South Wales, Western Australia, and Queensland, have reduced their capacity to 50% than what they were taking before. So now New South Wales will take around 1,500 instead of 3,000 people per week. Queensland and Western Australia will only receive around 500 people per week. And that basically means that there will be less number of travelers who can come into Australia. This change has been announced till 15th of February. So we won't be expecting any changes to this until 15th of February 2021, but hopefully it will go back to its normal capacity after 15th of February. And there is no official update regarding international students when they can start arriving in Australia. The other major change is regarding the masks that people have to wear while traveling is mandatory now. So far it was recommended that you should wear a mask when you are flying. But now Australian government has made it very clear that you must wear a mask when you are flying into Australia or doing domestic travel as well. Both crews and the passengers will be required to wear a mask on flights now. And the third major change is regarding the testing before and after the flights. Now the passengers arriving into Australia will be required to undertake a rapid test before they get into the flight. And if it turns out the result is positive, then you won't be able to board the flight. And this is now a new change that is coming into place. Again, it's regarding the worry of UK strain of the COVID-19. Now the obvious question that many international students will ask is, what does this change of international arrival caps means for them? Now if you think about it, there were around 38,000 Australians who were stranded overseas, and Australian government is committed to bring them home first before they can start getting international students to arrive in Australia. So if it is going to take longer to bring back these stranded Australians back into Australia, it obviously will mean that it will take longer time and students will probably have to wait until all the Australians can come back into Australia. So kind of not really a positive news, considering that the cap has further been reduced instead of being increasing. And again, the worry is about this specific strain that's coming from UK, and government is very worried and they're trying to control the spread of this strain into Australia. As you already know that Australia has done so well in controlling the COVID-19 cases here, and it is one of the best countries when it comes to stopping the spread of COVID-19 into the community. A majority of the COVID-19 cases are currently coming from the overseas travelers. So there were questions regarding completely closing off the borders for international travel into Australia, which Australian Prime Minister said it is not possible to do that. Obviously, it will have a huge impact on the people's life and the economy in general. So that's the latest update from that National Cabinet meeting regarding the international borders. We hope you find this information useful. Please share it with your friends and the people you think will find this information useful as well, and help us in stopping of the spread of this fake news and misinformation. I would really appreciate your efforts in helping this thing out. And I would also love to hear your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.